It started on a sunny Wednesday morning, the kind of quiet, peaceful day that only exists before an HOA decides to ruin it. My wife, Emily, had just gotten home from her night shift. She's a calm woman, never raises her voice, never loses her cool. The kind of person who can talk down an angry pit bull or defuse a bar fight just by looking someone in the eye. She parked her patrol SUV, a black and white, clearly marked with Sheriff's Department, right in our own driveway, like she did every morning. She was still in uniform, badge shining, hair pulled back tight. And that's when Karen showed up. Karen, the HOA president, was the self-appointed guardian of neighborhood aesthetics. She had opinions about everyone's lawn, everyone's car, and apparently everyone's parking habits. This time, she pulled up in her golf cart, screeching to a halt like she was responding to a hostage situation. Clipboard in one hand, phone in the other. "Excuse me," she barked. "You can't park here." Emily blinked, dead tired. "In my own driveway?" "Yes, this isn't a government facility. HOA rules clearly prohibit commercial and law enforcement vehicles from being visible overnight." Emily gave a dry little laugh. "Ma'am, this is my take-home patrol unit. It's assigned to me. I can park it wherever I legally live." "You live here?" Karen asked, narrowing her eyes like she'd just uncovered a conspiracy. "Yeah," Emily said, "with my husband. This is our house." "Oh no, no, no," Karen said, wagging a finger. "You must be mistaken. I know everyone in this neighborhood, and there's no record of a sheriff's officer on our resident list." Emily sighed. "You might want to update your list then." Karen huffed and pulled out her phone. "I'm calling the police. You're impersonating an officer and trespassing on private property." Emily blinked slowly, like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. "You're calling the police? On a police officer?" "Yes, I know my rights." 15 minutes later, a patrol car rolled into the cul-de-sac. Sirens off, lights flashing. Deputy Miller stepped out, someone Emily worked with every week. "Morning, he said, confused. "Dispatch said there was a trespassing call?" Before Emily could answer, Karen jumped in like she was starring in a courtroom drama. "Yes, this woman is posing as a sheriff. She's illegally parked in that driveway." Miller looked at her, then at Emily, then back at her again. "Ma'am, that's Sergeant Emily Dawson. She's my supervisor." The silence that followed was beautiful. Karen's face went from red to purple in 3 seconds flat. "That can't be. She's exactly who she says she is," Miller said. "And this is her house. Maybe you should head home before you get cited for making a false report." Karen's mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. Then she pointed at Emily's SUV. "But that vehicle violates HOA guidelines." Miller just grinned. "The Sheriff's Department doesn't answer to HOA guidelines, ma'am." Karen stormed off in her golf cart, muttering about calling the mayor. Emily just shook her head, smiling faintly. "People like her keep me in business," she said. I came out onto the porch and handed her a mug of coffee. "Everything good?" She sipped it and shrugged. "Better than for Karen." The next week, a formal HOA complaint arrived in our mailbox. Officer Dawson's law enforcement vehicle disrupts the harmony and aesthetic of the neighborhood. Emily pinned it to our fridge like a trophy. Then she sent a polite email back from her official sheriff's office address, stating that HOA interference with county law enforcement operations could be considered obstruction. Within 24 hours, the HOA board issued a formal apology. But that wasn't the end of it. 2 days later, Karen showed up again. Only this time, she was visibly nervous. Her son had been arrested the night before for vandalism. Guess who handled the call? Emily. Karen shuffled on our porch, red-faced and mumbling. "I didn't realize you were that kind of officer." Emily smiled sweetly. "The kind that enforces the law?" "Yeah, that kind." Karen didn't stay long after that. She stopped attending HOA meetings entirely. And whenever she saw Emily's patrol SUV parked in the driveway, she suddenly found somewhere else to be. These days, when Emily comes home from her shift, I always make sure there's fresh coffee waiting. The sheriff's SUV gleams in the driveway, badge polished bright. And every time Karen drives past, slow, careful, eyes averted, I can't help but grin. Because the woman who once tried to have my wife arrested now makes a complete stop every time she passes our house. Some people learn respect the hard way. Karen learned it with a badge watching.